From Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.
On News Hour tonight, jubilations as 3 abducted train passengers regained freedom. Remaining victims' families take Federal government orders evacuation of students of Federal Government College Kwali, beef up security in Unity colleges in Abuja. Shop owners in Abuja count losses as FCTA demolishes illegal structures at Jabi Park. And on the foreign scene, 34 people dead as bus plunges into Kenyan River Valley. Hello and welcome to the News Hour on Trust TV tonight. I am Eugenia Abu. 3 hostages of the Kaduna train attack on Monday afternoon regained freedom from captivity. Among them is Barrister Hassan Lawal, who was seen in the recent video in circulation begging government to come to their aid. Barrister Hassan was kidnapped alongside his wife when terrorists attacked the Kaduna-Abuja train, but his wife was among the first 11 persons freed by the terrorists. Hassan, who said the Nigerian government has failed to effect their release, added that it is a bitter experience being in captivity and called on the international community to intervene.
Actually, I am so excited in the midst of to gain my freedom, and as you can see, in the midst of my friends and relatives, I'm highly excited and overwhelmed by the reception I received from my family.
Any special message?
Yes, actually, I'm calling on as I said, the government has failed woefully in terms of security and in terms of rescuing our brothers that are still in captivity. So I'm calling on the international communities and also other foreign agencies to come to their aid to see that they are rescued on time, because the situation they are in now is actually terrible.
Was there any kind of attempt by the security agencies to rescue you guys while in the forest?
Actually, there is none. I have never heard of that. Thank you.
Talking about torture, talking about the torturing.
No, that is obvious, as a video was released yesterday, and you see the kind of torture we experienced during that period, and it's like the thing is getting worse and worse. So therefore, the international community needs to come in and see how they can rescue those in captivity. And those in captivity, including small children, on their age, they are there really suffering for over 4 months, sleeping on bare floor, in spite of the harsh weather, harsh condition we are in.
In a related development, families of the Abuja-Kaduna train attack are calling on the government to negotiate with the terrorists, keeping their relatives in captivity. They made the call during a protest on Monday at the entrance of the Federal Ministry of Transportation in Abuja. The renewed agitation of the families followed a video clip released by the terrorists brutalizing their families. Nana Mohammed was there and now reports.
This is an emotional and traumatic scene. The air is tense, and these people are angered, frustrated, and pained. Families of victims of the Abuja-Kaduna train attack have taken their agitations a step further, blocking the entrance of the Ministry of Transportation. The protest was triggered by a new video released by the abductors, showing their relatives being subjected to dehumanizing treatment. Fatima Aminu is a sister to one of the victims still in captivity.
My sister's name is Hafsat Abdullahi. The daughter is Baby Islam, and she's 41 years old.
What happened when she left home?
She came for our younger sister's wedding here in Abuja because she's married and stays in Kaduna with her husband and 6 kids, plus this one 7. So she came for the wedding and she was going back on 28, and me, I was in the hospital safe because I was pregnant. How did I feel? I've been down since that yesterday morning. I've been lying down because like don't sue me in a car fever thing.
After hours of waiting outside, the Minister for Transportation, Maazu Sambo, addressed the family members.
This Monday would have been the first time that I was going to be receiving briefings about activities of the ministry and its agencies. Before I resumed, I had spoken to the permanent secretary to try and get in touch with the victims, with the families of the victims of the unfortunate train incident. The intention was, my first port of call will be to hold a dialogue with you guys. My own, without receiving any briefing from anybody, without studying the report, without knowing even what government has done so far. I think it will be very, very wrong of me to tell you, give me so time frame.
But some of the families were reluctant to agree with the minister, as according to them, time is of the essence, and their loved ones still in captive and being treated like animals have no time. The victims were kidnapped on March 28, 2022, after an attack on the Kaduna-Abuja-bound train.
In his words, I am satisfied with God's promises, but I am not satisfied with the time frame, because he said he is committed to doing something to release our loved ones. But the only thing I'm not happy about is giving us the time in which our loved ones should be released. We've been patient enough.
So far, about 21 of the victims were released after 4 months, and 40 of them, including children, are still fighting for their freedom, just as their families are desperate and relentless to rescue their freedom.
Gwanati, help us, please. Please. Gwanati, please.
Nan Muhammad, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Still on the train attack, protesters on Monday morning stormed the Kaduna State House of Assembly, asking government to rescue the remaining train attack hostages whose lives have been threatened by the abductors. The protests followed the release of the now trending video of terrorists flogging kidnapped Kaduna train attack hostages. The protesters, who held placards with different inscriptions and chanting solidarity songs, commenced the protest at the Lugard Hall roundabout Kaduna before proceeding to the State Assembly. Here's that report.
Before now, only the relatives of the victims held a press briefing demanding the release of their relatives. But recently, sympathizers and other residents of the metropolis have joined the struggle to ensure the release of their victims. Some of the victims' family members who expressed their displeasure say despite hoping on the government to secure the release of their loved ones, such hopes continue to be dashed with the manner government handles the situation.
Government needs to come to our aid. Should we be, in the first instance, should we be begging the government? And it's obvious. And it's obvious from the videos released about 2 days ago what the captives, the kidnappers have said. They said they don't want the government to come and discuss with them, that the government has failed them, that we as individuals should come and rescue our loved ones. How do we go to rescue our loved ones when our government have failed us? How do we go into where we don't know to go and rescue our loved ones? That's why we are out today to call on the government to do the needful,
They should bring out our loved one. That is what we want. We are begging on Mr. President and Governor Malam Nasir El-Rufai to do something and bring out our loved one. This is too much for us. Our parents cannot take it again. They should not kill our parents before their time. They should bring out our loved one. We have 85-year-old woman in that bush that she sit there. They can't see her video. We can't see her the way she talked to. Look at the whole people in the bush. They should please help us. They should bring out our loved ones. We are tired. We are tired. We cannot take it again.
In the last 24 hours, 2 protests were staged in Kaduna and another in Abuja in response to the trending video. It is the hope of not just the families, but the generality of Nigerians that the hostages will be rescued by the concerned authorities in no distant future. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
In the meantime, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, has described the latest released video of the Abuja-Kaduna train terrorists as panic action. The Army Chief stated this during the commissioning of projects and inspection of artilleries at the Mai Malari cantonment in Maiduguri. He said the military is combat ready to fulfill its mandate of eliminating bandits, kidnappers and terrorists in the country.
In the pursuit of the mandate given to us. In Northeast here, things are moving, and even in other theaters, despite the fact that we have some few challenges here and there. The recent happening by these criminals, I consider it to be panic action when they see the news getting closer to them. And it's just a matter of time we'll get them. And anybody who take up arms against the state, in whatever form it is, we will get to him. This is a message to all the criminals, whether they are making videos or whatever they are making. The time is up.
More than 8,000 people were displaced from the Shimfida community in Jibia local government area of Katsina State. This was a result of the Nigerian Army withdrawing its troops from an area located in the frontline areas. For the first time, displaced victims visited Shimfida to weigh the level of damage and the possibility of resettlement. Jamil Mumbai tells us more.
These burnt houses are a graphic reminder of the carnage that took place in Shimfida community in Jibia local government of Katsina State. Not a single bullet was fired, yet 9 people lost their lives from the stampede caused by fear and anxiety.
These women you are seeing, they came here on foot. No bullet was fired or shot at somebody, but 8 people died. They died due to the stampede after thrown into a car.
According to the victims, stationed army personnel began impromptu withdrawal from the community. Soon, locals panicked.
At the end, the commandant said we should tell our people to follow them after they finish parking. Before you know, people panicked. For 7 years, we have been feeding the government on any information that has to do with security. Yet, in broad daylight, they decided to be unjust to us.
For the first time, displaced victims travels through the roads leading to Shimfida community. With a bad road network, it's hard for motorists and security personnel to respond in case of an emergency. Inside the community, the hallmark of bandits' terror. Destruction, which comes without warning. With empty streets, a once lively Shimfida is lifeless. The purpose of the visit was to have on-the-spot inspection for a possible resettlement.
We don't have anything to come back and do in Shimfida. We have lost everything in this world. We lost everything. We have all seen our houses. What will you tell your family when you go back? They should give up. There is no hope of going back.
For now, their only hope of resettlement lies in the hands of the government. And with 5 months gone, how much more will they have to wait? Jamil Mobai, Trust TV, Katsina.
Trust TV correspondent there, Jamil Mobai. Gunmen on Sunday attacked a police station in Okpanam, Oshimili North local government area of Delta State, killing 3 policemen who were said to be responding to a distress call by members of local vigilante. Confirming the incident in a telephone interview, police spokesperson Edafe Bright said one of the attackers has been arrested and investigation is ongoing to ensure the arrest of others.
And they killed 3 of our personnel. The command has been able to arrest one of the suspects who is helping us with useful information. We're also using this opportunity to call on members of the public who has 1 or 2 information that can help us.
Who are in the other side? We are in the other side with all these guys. Early this morning, one of my men called me, Oga, see what is happening, see what is happening. We are in Chelsea Hospital, and I said, wow. I rushed down to a Chelsea Hospital. I see so many people lying down. One of them is fainting, and I took that one, put inside my car, drove down here. That is why we're here treating the guys this morning.
And from Ondo State, unknown gunmen on Monday attacked Okuta Elerinla Police Division in Akure, killing 1 policeman. The reason for the attack is yet to be ascertained as at the time of filing this report. Spokesperson of the command, Fumilayo Odulami, who confirmed the incident, said investigations has commenced into the attack. The federal government has ordered the immediate closure of the Federal Government College Kwali in Kwali Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The Director of Press and Public Relations at the Federal Ministry of Education, Ben Gung, who announced this in a statement on Monday in Abuja, said the Minister of Education, Adamu, gave the directive in order to prevent any attack on the school. He said the closure became necessary following the security breach on Shedda and Lambata villages in the suburbs of Kwali Area Council, while Adamu said the timely intervention of the security operatives saved the situation. He directed the authorities of the school to make arrangements for final year students to conclude their National Examination Council NECO exams. The minister also directed principals of Unity colleges across the country to communicate with security agencies within their jurisdictions to forestall any security breach in the government schools. Shop owners in Abuja are counting their losses as the Federal Capital Territory Administration bulldozers pull down illegal structures housing their shops at Jabi Motor Park. The exercise is part of the ongoing demolition exercise in the capital city. Here's that report.
It is indeed a black Monday for shop owners who come for normal business only to see bulldozers pulling down their shops.
On Thursday, they came and started scattering everywhere. On Saturday, they came for marking final demolition. So we wake up this morning, coming to shop, we saw this.
We just come here this morning, just come and start demolition. Even the people that they give us the land, never give them anything. Just come to say they'll give them some things. They never give them things. So we just see the demolition this morning.
While it is a sad day for shop owners, metal scrap scavengers are more than happy to collect the leftovers. This man says he gets his lunch ticket from the debris.
This is aluminium. It is used to fabricate pot, kettle, and many things.
Senior Special Assistant to the FCT Minister on Monitoring, Inspection and Enforcement, Ikaro Atta, says the exercise will continue.
The other ones there will be removed tomorrow. The ones that will be removed tomorrow. The main cardinal place we have to go now for theatre of operation is Kuje Area Council. The entire Kuje Road corridor will be cleared. After we have cleared the whole Kuje Road corridor, we will be clearing the railway corridor. People build houses on, we'll clear those ones. Then we'll go back to Papin. Every area.
Some traders struggle to retrieve some valuables, though many others are not so lucky. About 10-story buildings are down beyond recognition. Ahmad Datti, Trust TV News, Abuja.
As the closing date for the ongoing continuous voters registration exercise draws nearer, prospective registrants in Lafia, the Nasarawa state capital, have called on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to extend the exercise to enable them complete their registration and avoid being disenfranchised in the 2023 elections. In an interview with Trust TV in Lafia, the Nasarawa state capital, on Monday, one of the registrants, Margaret Joseph, who expressed worry over the delay in the registration process at INEC office in Lafia, appealed to the commission to provide more units to reduce the stress prospective registrants have been going through. Another prospective registrant, Daniel Audu, said he was at INEC office as early as 6 in the morning, noting that he spent up to 6 hours before he could be registered. Reacting to the issue, the head of Voter Registration Department, INEC, Nasarawa State, Ibrahim Onawo, urged the registrants to ensure they register and get their PVCs before the general election.
I'm here for the voters card registration, and the exercise is good, it's nice, the environment is conducive, and the people here, they are not much. So the exercise is going on, and I've done my own. I'm waiting for the next general election to come so I can vote for the next president of this great country, Nigeria. And I hope that the election will be free and fair and also credible.
The process here is so very slow. Advise they should provide more units, more places where they can be able to do this. Because the time of frame, they are closing the date soon, so we need to enroll on it.
Nigerians, our people being what they are, even if you extend this thing over and over 10 times, they will still clamor for extension. The most important thing is let's get ourselves out of this old order. That whenever a program is scheduled to take place, let's avail ourselves of the opportunity of that time it is built to commence and subsequently its end. Otherwise, when we stay down and begin to think, extension, it's not going to take us anywhere. Don't forget that this thing has been on for the past 2 years. Where were they all this while? Why did they come over? I recall before the last extension, which is the end of this month, there was such clamor until the extension was granted them. So even if we extend it 10 times, they will still hear this kind of complaints.
Still on voter education, ahead of the 2023 general elections, Muslims have been charged to partake actively in electoral processes and stay away from any form of electoral fraud. In the meantime, Nigeria's electoral umpire, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has reaffirmed that the continuous voter registration exercise will be suspended on Sunday, the 31st of July, 2022. To this end, the Commission is calling on eligible Nigerians who are yet to participate to seize the one-week opportunity ahead of closure and get registered. Here's that report.
The continuous voters registration exercise, which started over a year ago, had witnessed a 1-month further extension from the initial deadline. To encourage Nigerians to participate in the exercise, INEC, with support from the European Union in collaboration with IAGA Africa, held concerts in Lagos and Abuja, where thousands more got registered. With preparations in top gear for the 2023 general elections, INEC says the CVR exercise has to give way, but added that collection of the PVCs will continue while newly registered cards will be ready for collection by October 2022.
All CVR activities except the collection of already printed PVCs will be suspended on Sunday, 31st of July 2022. Meanwhile, the Honorable Chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has already approved not only that extension of time, but also increased the closing hours to 5 p.m. daily to attend to registrants. And in addition, this exercise was carried on last Saturday and yesterday Sunday. And the exercise will also be carried on the next Saturday and the next Sunday.
Bello urged registrants in the FCT to patronize centers within their area councils and shun multiple registrations to avoid risking disenfranchisement, noting that special considerations are made for persons living with disabilities.
The Federal Commission for People with Disability invited us for a press conference last week at their premises and requested INEC to deploy an ABED machine at each area council where they have designated centers in order to discharge people with disabilities. Our national chairman, being very passionate in inclusivity, we have already obliged, and the program all over the MCT began this Monday morning, and all the IBAN machines have been deployed in all the centers to capture people with disabilities.
He further stated that reports of challenges of network interruption, slow and faulty machines, among others, experienced during the course of the CVR exercise and conduct of some governorship elections in parts of the country are being addressed by the Commission to ensure a credible outing at the 2023 polls. Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
FCT INEC on how not to be disenfranchised. This is News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up after the break, national service with a sense of community development. Do stay with us.
My people, how do you feel when you see bulldozers demolish beautiful but illegally built private houses, estates, or plazas? Agony and pain. That is exactly what the FCT administration feels also. No responsible government is happy to inflict pain on her people by demolishing any property. Are you planning to acquire a piece of land? Avoid buying land from indigents or local chiefs or any other unauthorized source, as doing so could ruin your valuable investment. Only the Minister of FCT allocates land in Abuja. So, to acquire a piece of land in Abuja, go to the Abuja Geographic Information Systems, popularly known as AGIS, and obtain the relevant application form. Also, visit the FCDA Mass Housing Department to check the genuineness of land title before you acquire any property in any of the housing estates in Abuja. Do the right thing. Don't be a victim. This message is from the Federal Capital Territory Administration.
That's good. Good to see you.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is News Hour on Trust TV, a recap of our top stories. Jubilations as 3 abducted train passengers regain freedom, remaining victims' families take protest to ministry. Federal government orders evacuation of students of FGC Kwali, beef up security in Unity colleges in Abuja. And to other stories now. Electricity workers on Sunday said they would join the solidarity protests of the Nigeria Labour Congress over the ongoing strike by Academic Staff Union of Universities. Power sector workers under the aegis of the National Union of Electricity Employees made their position known in a letter issued by the General Secretary, Joe Ajero, to the Vice Presidents of State and Administrative Councils, chapter secretaries of the union. The directive enjoined all members of the union to massively mobilize and actively participate in the solidarity protest. Nigeria's power sector recently witnessed a grid collapse that led to blackouts across the country. Nasarawa State University chapter of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has threatened to embark on another strike even if the ongoing national strike of the union is called off. Chairman of the union, Samuel Alu, stated this while briefing journalists on the alleged government failure to implement its demands in the university after 4 years. Abubakar Abdullahi sent in this report.
Prior to the ongoing national strike by the academic Staff Union of Universities, National University chapter of the union had outstanding issues such as domestication and implementation of the Act of Compulsory Retirement Age of 70, poor funding of the university, review of high tax regime by Revenue Board, among others, that the union and the state government agreed upon before the suspension of the union strike in 2016. In his address, Nasarawa State University Chapter Chairman of ASU, Samuel Alu, said even with the agreement, no effort is being made for the implementation.
Let me seize this opportunity to categorically inform you that since then, nothing has changed as per government's effort in salvaging the situations. Instead, things have become worse because rather than solving the aforementioned challenges, the university management has even taken itself to where it can no longer pay staff salaries, which is the right of the workers. As we speak, the university has not paid June salary, and in a matter of days, July salary will be expected to be paid.
ASU Chairman Nsuk Chapter said the action of government is evident that it is not willing to abide by the agreement.
There is a clear evidence from the foregoing that the government of Nasarawa State is precipitating yet another round of industrial crisis in the state university by the non-release of outstanding EA and mainstreaming of the EA to our salary, as it is the case in other sister unions on campus. ASU Nsuk notes that this is negligence, bias, and not acceptable anymore. The ongoing attitude of government to the Memorandum of Action and Memorandum of Understanding has necessitated it on ASU Nsuk to no longer guarantee industrial harmony if the situation do not improve, especially when the ongoing national agitation and action are suspended.
The state chairman, while calling on the government to do the needful, also explained that parents and students should hold governing council of the institution responsible for the consequences that may arise because of the alleged serial non-implementation of the members' demand.
And now to agriculture. Farmers in Bauchi say that despite subsidy on fertilizer, local farmers find it difficult to buy the commodity. The state governor had launched the 2022 sales of fertilizer, pegging the price between 15,000 naira and 20,500 naira only per bag. The farmers made the observation during the official flagging off of the sale of fertilizer for the farming season held at Nabado Toro local government area of the state. Trust TV's Adamu Imam completes the report.
Bauchi State has fixed the price of 50 kg of NPK and urea fertilizer at 15,000 naira and 20,500 naira, but only to practicing farmers in the state. Governor Bala Muhammad, while speaking at the official launching of 2022 farming season and fertilizer distribution, says the Russia-Ukraine war has caused astronomical rise in price of raw materials for the commodity. While the farmers appeal for justice in the distribution, they noted that there are no much change with the one sold in the market. Honestly, the price is not encouraging. Why? Because the Bauchi NPK fertilizer we usually buy at the cost of 15,000 naira, while urea 21,000 naira. But what we saw here, the difference is just 500 naira only. I'm contemplating. Before we expected that the government price will make us proud, but it is surprising. I'm still in doubt whether to buy or not. We have a lot of challenges in the area of agrochemicals, especially herbicides and post-emergence. It's not yielding result for us. We are local people, depend on what we see. Now the fertilizer is here. Those that has huge amount of money or influence will get it, but we cannot get access to it. No matter what the price is still welcome, but what baffles us is lack of availability of the commodity, which give us big headache. They always refers us to Ukraine war for the shortage of raw materials for the finished product. I'm calling on the government to do the needful to get another ways for farmers to have fertilizer in time and good price. We're confronted with a lot of family issues, and besides, things are very high. Which one can we do?
Where we are getting nearly nothing. We want to be economically independent and agriculturally very sound. Indeed, we want to be the harbinger and the place where agriculture is going to be named as a state major preoccupation in the country.
He also warned those with the habit of adulterating the commodity for selfish interests that they will be caught and dealt with accordingly. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of Dauda Biu as the acting Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, following the retirement of Dr. Boboye Oyeyemi. Before his appointment, Biu was the Deputy Corps Marshal, Finance and Accounts at the FRSC headquarters. He joined the FRSC in 1988 and has had a fruitful career working across several formations. He holds a master's degree in business administration from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, and was the Assistant Corps Marshal, Finance and Accounts in 2014 before becoming the Deputy Corps Marshal in 2016. A statement by the Corps Public Education Officer, Assistant Corps Marshal BC Kazim, on Monday in Abuja said Biu's appointment took effect from July 24, 2022, when the former Corps Marshal of the Corps, Dr. Boboye Oyeyemi, retired. Stakeholders in the housing sector have been called upon to create a synergy with the government to facilitate the growth of the housing sector in the country. The Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, made the call at the 16th African International Housing Show in Abuja. Here's that report.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who was represented by Managing Director, Family Homes Fund Femi Adewale, explained that the housing sector, if properly harnessed, will ensure quality access to housing for all in the Federal Capital Territory.
Access to affordable housing remains a major challenge that remains substantially unsolved in Nigeria. Although there is no shortage of policies and programs that's been enacted by various governments to tackle this problem, effective implementation remains a persistent dilemma. Our housing challenge in Nigeria presents itself in two primary forms. We have the issue of inadequate housing supply to meet the needs of a rapidly growing population, most significantly for people on low income and young people. Secondly, a large proportion of our existing stock are substandard housing which do not meet widely accepted standards of habitability.
Chairman, Senate Committee on Housing, Sam Egu, stressed the need for stakeholders to ensure that modalities are put in place that will make the sector achieve set objectives.
As a lawmaker and member as chairman of the Committee on Housing from the legislature, we shall continue to do our duty in trying to oversight government and also make the enabling laws in this sector. But I also hope that government should be able to implement. So we can't be talking about delivering or providing housing to the masses that they cannot be able to afford. We're talking about affordability of these houses. And if you build a house that is not affordable, then the house is not meant for the masses.
Housing is more than mere dwelling units in the country. When you look at other elements of it, it's much more than just a simple dwelling unit. It provides for livable communities, for secure environments, which goes further to say that housing in itself can be a solution to so many of the problems we are currently facing, including security.
Stakeholders said show is necessary to draw the attention of other international investors to the housing sector in Nigeria to enable it to grow.
In Abuja, Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News.
Reports just reaching us say at least 9 persons have been killed in a bomb explosion in Government Girls Secondary School, GGSS, Bama, Borno State, at about noon on Monday. Details in our subsequent telecasts. A 24-year-old corps member serving in Gombe State, Echefula Wisdom, has constructed a stand to shelter police traffic wardens on duty. Wisdom, a graduate of law from River State University, said he constructed the stand after observing traffic wardens working without shelter on hot afternoons at a junction in Gombe metropolis. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
The 24-year-old, who highlighted some of the challenges in the course of the project, said he was worried by the condition of traffic wardens working under the scorching sun.
Another day when I was going to work, I also noticed the female wardens controlling traffic under the rain. Then a few months back, I also noticed that one of the traffic wardens at Tumfre roundabout was almost hit by a motorcycle. And I said to myself, if I don't do anything, we could possibly hear that one of the traffic wardens had been injured by probably a road accident or whatever thing that doesn't protect them. That's it happened. You know, when you do welding work, the fire sparks. We also taught you have to go through such sacrifice as well. We also had to go through the sacrifice of funding. Sometimes the money was not there.
The traffic warden spoke on the significance of the traffic kiosk to their work.
It's a very big donation to us because we that used to stand on the road, we know what we are facing. More especially this time around that we are facing August. We cannot control properly if the rain is dropping. So with this, at least we will discharge our duty diligently.
The Nigeria Police and the National Youth Service Corps are inspired by the Corps members' spirit of community service.
For a copper, Wisdom, to have been fit to construct this type of things is a marvelous and welcome idea. I want to say it particularly on behalf of the Inspector of Police, IGP Usman Alkali Baba, and officers and men of the Gombe State Command in particular. We are immensely grateful to a young person like this to have deemed it fit to this type of things to Nigerian police.
Wisdom has deemed it fit to see what he can do for the community of Gombe. And the only thing he can do is to give this traffic boot to the Nigerian police, which is a great stride in nation building.
The traffic kiosk has been stationed at Tufre Junction along Gombe Bauchi Road. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
Good work by a young Nigerian. In the meantime, the Daily Trust Board of Economists has advised the federal government to improve its economic coordination and synergy, brace up in fighting corruption, and find options for the proposed 6.2 trillion naira petrol subsidy for the 2023 fiscal year. According to a communique issued after its second quarter meeting at the weekend, the board commended the gross domestic product (GDP) performance in the first quarter of 2022, stating that the growth trajectory is slow and below the level that will put the economy on sustained recovery, especially with a high unemployment rate of 33.3%. The board noted that despite raising the monetary policy rate (MPR), inflation is rising, seeking synchronization of monetary, fiscal, and trade policies. The board also advised the government to approve the cause of the rising inflation, including insecurity and energy crisis, adding that the Ukraine war is negatively impacting the energy crisis. The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria has called on the federal government to remove the 7.5% value-added tax on automobile gas oil until supply from international is normalized. The association also urged the government to convene a strategic meeting with key operators in the economic space in the face of the Ukraine-Russian war. The president of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Mansour Ahmed, stated this at the 37th annual general meeting of the Ogun State branch of the association held in Abeokuta. Ahmed, whose speech was read by the Director General of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Segun Ajayi Kadir, said the call for the meeting would help the government to identify viable options to ameliorate the impact of the disruption. He also called for the implementation of the Eligible Customer Initiative to afford the manufacturers the opportunity of stranded electricity. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission tribunal sitting in Abuja on Monday adjourned ruling in the matter between an Abuja-based lawyer, Festus Onifade, Coalition of Nigerian Consumers, and pay TV service providers, MultiChoice Nigeria Limited, till September 6, 2022. At the hearing, MultiChoice asked the tribunal to decline hearing the suit challenging the increase of the subscription fees for its television services on grounds of jurisdiction. Maria Umar has more.
Onifade, first claimant, and the Coalition of Nigeria's Consumers, second claimant, had dragged the MultiChoice, operators of DSTV and GoTV platforms, to the tribunal following an announcement by the company in March 2022 that the subscription rates for the various bouquet on its platforms will go up on the 1st of April 2022. In the suit, which the FCCPC is the second defendant, Onifade prayed the tribunal for an order restraining MultiChoice from increasing the subscription rates for its services and other products, pending the hearing and determination of the motion and notice dated and filed on the 30th of March. The claimant also asked the tribunal to make an order directing MultiChoice to adopt pay-as-you-view subscription model for its pay TV services.
So the issue of MultiChoice increasing its bouquet and being dragged to court by an Abuja-based lawyer, Festus Onifade, has lingered for some time now. Recall that in the last 7 years, MultiChoice have increased their bouquet 4 times since 2015 to be precise. And one of the agitations in court was the fact that the claimant said it was illegal for MultiChoice to increase their tariff in Nigeria and also to pay for local stations when subscription ends, at least among other reasons. And one of the defendants included in the case was the FCCPC, that's the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, that they've been paying nonchalant attitude to the claimant's claim since the matter has been instituted. So the trial judge at the tribunal, the FCC tribunal, has adjourned the matter for a joint hearing for judgment. That the judgment will now be passed on the 6th of September 2022. Mardia Umar, Trust TV News, Abuja.
President Muhammadu Buhari on Monday received the exiting president of ECOWAS Commission, Jean-Claude Cassibrou, in a farewell audience at State House, Abuja. The president, in a statement issued by his spokesman, Femi Adesina, thanked him for the role he played in ensuring that the sub-regional body remained united. He said in spite of challenges like the COVID-19 pandemic, insecurity and political tension in some countries, Cassibrou and his team at the ECOWAS Commission showed capacity and patience and dealt with all the issues. The exiting ECOWAS Commission president thanked President Buhari for the support given in the past 4 years, particularly at a time of great challenges like COVID-19 and political instability in some West African countries. 34 people have died in central Kenya after their bus veered off a bridge and plunged into a river valley, local media reported on Monday. The country's Daily Nation and the Standard newspapers reported that the incident occurred on Sunday evening in Tharaka Nithi County when the bus of Modern Coast Company traveling from Meru to the port city of Mombasa veered off the Nithi Bridge and fell into the valley 40 meters below. County Commissioner Norbert Komora, in a statement, said they have rescued 11 people who are undergoing treatment in hospital. The National Transport and Safety Authority, Kenya's transport regulator, has ordered all buses belonging to Modern Coast to suspend operations pending an investigation into the crash. Draupadi Murmu has been sworn in as India's president, making her the first person from one of the country's marginalized tribal communities to serve as the head of state. The former school teacher and state governor was elected to the largely ceremonial position last week with 64% of the vote by members of India's parliament and state assemblies. Murmu, who is from the Santhal tribe and was born in eastern Odisha state, paid her respects before her inauguration on Monday at a memorial dedicated to India's independence icon, Mahatma Gandhi, in New Delhi. 2 people were killed and 5 others were injured in a shooting Sunday at a Southern California park where a car show was being held. The shooting happened around 3:45 in the afternoon at Peck Park in San Pedro, California, about 20 miles south of downtown Los Angeles. 7 people were injured in total and 5 remained in the hospital Sunday night, being treated for various injuries. According to the police, no one has been arrested in connection to the shooting. Police also say they do not know how many firearms or shooters were involved. The Los Angeles Police Department tweeted it wasn't an active shooter situation and said there was no threat to the public. And police have asked anyone with information about the shooting to contact the South Bureau Homicide Division. Muhammad Ali's WBC heavyweight title belt from his famous Rumble in the Jungle fight has sold for $6.18 million. The 1974 fight was one of boxing's most memorable moments as Ali stops the fearsome George Foreman to recapture the heavyweight title in the African nation of Zaire. Ali won the fight in a knockout in the 8th round. Jim Irsay, owner of the Indianapolis Colts, acquired the heavyweight championship belt at an auction. The belt sold in 2016 for $358,500 and then sold in 2017 for $120,000 and is one of only 2 Ali WBC titles that are known to exist, according to Heritage Auctions. Let's now join Adeni Ajeshafe for more in the world of sports.
8 Nigerian beach volleyballers have been named by the Nigerian Volleyball Federation, led by Engineer Musa Nimrod, to participate in the African Nations Beach Volleyball Championship. The contingents jetted out on Sunday for the African Beach Volleyball Championship scheduled for July 25 to August 2nd. The men's teams consist of Obayemi Ogushina, Simon Hillary, Emenike Ezike, and Uchenna Augustine, while the women's team at Albertina Francis, Happiness Wushilang, Esther Mba, and Rafiat Mustafa. They are accompanied by head coach Kayode Ajilore and the chairman of Nigerian Volleyball Referees Association, Sam Timothy. African Nations Beach Volleyball Championship comes up in Agadir, Morocco. Reactions are continuing to trail the stellar performance of Tobiloba Amusan and Ese Brume at the World Athletics Championship in Eugene, Oregon. President Muhammadu Buhari, in his message, congratulated Tobi Amusan for winning the women's 100-meter hurdles gold for Nigeria at the event, setting a new world record in the semi-finals of the athletic event and becoming the first Nigerian to win gold at the World Athletics Championship final race. Amusan, a two-time African Games champion in one night, stunned the athletics world with a superlative and stellar performance. Buhari thanked the track superstar for making the Nigerian national anthem resonate again from the international podium, leaving the nation with the excitement and unforgettable memories of tears of joy and triumph, hope and victory. President Buhari says the legendary career and achievement of the Golden Girl will continue to inspire the upcoming generations of Nigerian athletes to achieve success. President Buhari also commended Ese Brume for representing Nigeria with honor and pride, winning silver medal in a women's long jump event. The president lauded the team Nigeria for displaying courage, integrity, and good sportsmanship at the world stage, proving that with hard work and determination, success is achievable. Tobi Amusan became the first Nigerian athlete to win a World Athletics Championship gold as she stormed to victory in the women's 100-meter hurdles final in Oregon, while Ese Brume left 7.02 meters to win silver. That's Sport News. I am Adeniyi Ajishafe.
Nigerians making Nigeria proud across the world in sports. And with this, we have come to the end of News Hour on Trust TV. For more news, connect with us across all our social media platforms. I am Eugenia Abu. We thank you for joining us.